what you are going to do over there? Okay, now the personal protective equipment, that is called as the PPE kit, personal protective equipment or protective device, made available for individual or the collective use of the worker likely to be affected by the hazard of workplace or processes. So when you are going to operate in any power plant, okay, in any power plant you need to take certain precautions. Okay, so what are the precautions or what are the safety practices that need to be followed at hydroelectric power plant? So one of the first safety practices is that when you are going to handle some machinery or something, then you have to use the personal protective equipments over here, and this should be made available for the workers. Okay, in which area where the hazard is there, the chances of hazards are there. Second is what? Not to allow any worker to work in unsafe conditions nor with the unsafe equipments. So when you're going to say the power plants, there are walls are there, turbines are there, generators are there. Okay, so if they are work in the working conditions or they are unsafe, then the worker should not be allowed to work over there. Okay, the maintenance part or the maintenance activities need to be carried out only when the equipments are in off state or some that are in the safe conditions. Okay, so you are not supposed to allow the worker to work in the unsafe conditions, not with the unsafe equipments. Then sufficient number of supervisors shall be appointed for adequate and constant supervision at all times and in all workplaces. Okay, just as a diploma engineers, when you are going to just join any organization, such as it may be a hydroelectric power plant, that may be at Vaitarna, Bhandardara, or number of students are already working over there. At Bhandardara, some students are working. Okay, at Vaitarna, some students are working over there, and in other plants also. So when you are working over there, your role is what? Your role is minimum supervisor. You are not supposed to do any labor work over there. You need to simply supervise the work which is done by the laborers. Okay, so there may be unskilled laborers are there, some skilled labor just like ITI holders or something. They are doing the works and you need to just guide them that you are to supposed to do the work in this manner. Okay, or you need to just observe the work of those in, and you need to guide them time to time. Okay, and allocate the work to them. So this is the supervisor. And in, say, when you are going to just work in the power plant, then it requires a number of labors are there, so definitely it requires the supervisor also, those who are going to observe the work of that labors. But if you are going to consider the today's scenario of the hydroelectric power plants, so if you are going to consider the case of your Vaitarna, or if you are going to consider the case of your Bhandardara, or there is a one more power plant near the Randa Fall. Okay, so if you are going to visit that power plant near Randa Fall, there are only 4 persons who are working at a time. One is say manager, second one is supervisor, third one is uh, say IT holder, one supporting staff is there, and one is a maintenance staff. So only 4 persons are completely handling the plant. Now is it possible? This is possible only because of the automation, as everything is going to be automated, so the number of people required for doing the work are definitely decreases. Okay, so in today's scenario for hydroelectric power plant, we don't require a large number of workers, so definitely the supervisors are also required. But if it is the case of your thermal power plant, then it requires n number of supervisor as well as number of workers over there. All the workers are protected from hazards arising out of their work or due to the work carried out by others in the vicinity. Okay, so definitely what happened when the workers are going to work at some locations. Okay, so as the workers are doing whatever the works they are going to do, sometimes that will cause hazards, or if someone is doing the work near the worker, then also that will result into the hazard. So in that case you need to protect the workers. Okay, then safety training should be provided to all employees. Okay, so you must provide the safety training to all employees. as well as you need to appoint a safety officer with the qualification and experience. This is the mandatory clause for the industries. There must be a safety officers. Okay, and safety training should be given to each and everyone who is working in that organization, whether he is a manager or he is a labor or he is a sweeper. Everyone must have the basic safety training. Safety posters, slogan competitions, special meetings, and tasks will be organized. So, for that purpose, what happened? We need to continuously organize the special meeting in which you are going to just give the safety details. Then you need to post the safety posters at different locations. You need to just organize the slogan competition. You need to just put the slogans at different location. Okay, so just like you have seen certain slogans, when you are going to observe some vehicles which are moving. Okay, uh, so if you have number of slogans they are going to use for different purposes. Okay, so for electrical engineering, say we are going to use the slogan 440 volt khatra वगैरह, just like this type of slogan. Okay, go slow and reach your destinations, like this one you can see a number of slogans over there. Then emergency action plan should be ready to deal with the fire and explosion. So if in the industry what happened, we are going to use a n number of different equipments, so there may be chances of fire or explosion also. So in that case there should be an emergency plan. If fire will occur or if there is explosion, then you should also have the emergency exit. What to do? Fire extinguisher must be there, proper type of fire extinguisher. The staff must be trained to just operate those fire extinguisher. Okay, so these are some things that you need to do over there. Okay, so now, so next that what you are going to discuss is power plant should be protected against the lightning stroke. That is use of appropriate type of lightning arrestor. So lightning arrestor is a very important thing. Okay, so all of you have seen some type of large towers are there, or if you are going to observe the chimney, okay, of your thermal power plant or sugar factory or something, you can see one rod over there at the top of the chimney having three shapes. Now this, what is the purpose of that? That is called as the lightning arresters. So basically the power plant is a tall structure in that particular area, and lightning stroke always occur on the tall structure. So in old days, what the peoples are doing when they are going to construct the mandirs, temples, mosque, church, at the top of the mandir or mosque or church, they are going to put the metallic structure. ओके, जसं मंदिरावर कळस असायचं आणि जुन्या काळामध्ये कळस फक्त सोन्याचा, चांदीचा, तांब्याचा असायचा. ओके, सो वाय दे आर गोइंग टू यूज द गोल्ड, सिल्वर, copper for constructing the top. Okay, so the basic purpose is that gold, copper, silver, these are the very good conductor of electricity, and lightning stroke is nothing but the electricity, electric discharge. So what happen if the lightning will fall, it does not damage the structure of the temple, so the lightning is directly discharged to the ground when it will fall on that. In the same manner you can also see, इफ यू आर गोइंग टू सी द मस्जिदवर जर बघितलं तिथं कळसाच्या ऐवजी तुम्हाला आहे ना हे दिसतंय चांद सितारा वगैरे असतो. दॅट इज ऑल्सो मेड अप ऑफ मेटल, and metal is a good conductor of electricity, so that will attract the lightning stroke and directly discharge to the ground. If you are going to see the church, at the church you can observe the what you are going to observe in the church, you can observe the cross sign over there. The cross sign is also made up of the metal. Okay, so even though today also if you are going to observe the heavy structure or high structure, at the top of this high structure there is a metallic part. Okay, so the metallic parts look like this one. If you are going to see that metallic part, so it is, say this is my structure over here. Okay, and at the top of the structure I am going to put a metallic strap. The metallic part has such type of three things. Now this is called as the lightning arrestor, this is called as LA, lightning arrestor. So basically what happens, these are my clouds. Okay, so what is the lightning? Lightning is the discharge between two clouds, a charge cloud on the ground, or it is a discharge between the cloud and cloud. So there are two types of lightning stroke, direct lightning stroke and indirect lightning stroke. So basically in case of the direct lightning stroke, what is happened? Either the cloud, okay, what is inside the cloud? Cloud has vapors. So vapors may have positive charge or they may have the negative charge. Now it is my ground over here. Okay, so basically earth I will act as a sink over here and this will act as a source over here. Okay, so if these are the positive charge clouds, okay, and this is my ground, so when the potential difference between two will excessively increases, so that is called as the potential gradient. When this will excessively increases, at that time there is a discharge of the charges from this one to the ground surface, and that is called as the lightning discharge. Yes. ते जेवण करायला गेले 5 मिनिटांनी. Okay, so that is called as the lightning discharge. And in case of lightning discharge, if it will fall on certain object, the object may get damaged or it may get destroyed. So in such cases, if this is my ground, as we have already discussed, ground will act as a source as well as a sink. So in this case, it is acting as a sink. So all these charged particles will directly come in the form of lightning to the ground. Okay, and if the charged particles will just fall on certain structure, then the structure will get damaged, and basically the voltage of this is in the lakhs of volt. Okay, so what you are going to do, my power plant is the tall structure. Okay, so this is possible that the lightning will fall on the power plant, and if it will fall on the power plant may get damaged. So at the top of the power plant I am going to put the lightning arresters. So when I am going to provide the lightning arrestor, this will provide the path for the lightning discharge directly to the ground. Instead of damaging the structure, my lightning discharge will now flow through the lightning arrestor to the ground. So basically, for the safety of the power plant, we are going to use the protective equipments. And one of the protective equipment in that case is what, your lightning discharge arresters. Then we need to use the barricades, warning signs, safety poster should be provided to hazards and important location. Okay, so to allow to say restrict the entry of the unauthorized person. Okay, so at some location you are just observe that only authorized persons are allowed to enter into the campus. Okay, so these are the warning signs you are going to paste on certain locations. You are going to put the barricades. So when you are going to put the barricades, the unauthorized person or animal does not come inside the premises. So for that purpose, you are going to use barricades. You are going to use the warning signs. We need to paste the safety posters for the different locations at different location. Now, why? To give the warning regarding the hazard and importance of the location. Okay, then station should have at least two independent way of exit. If one route becomes inaccessible in alternative emergency, exit route should always be available. Adequate lighting is essential for emergency exit. So basically what happened when you are going to use the station, at station there are at least two location. Okay, तिथं कमीत कमी दोन एक्झिट असायला पाहिजे. एक एक्झिट कसं असेल तुमचं? जस्ट वेट फॉर 1 मिनिट. Okay, so when you're going to just common station over there. Okay, in bus also you can see two exits. One is emergency exit and one is your normal door through which you can enter or exit. Okay, so basically what happened when the accident will occur or something is going to be wrong, in that case you will get the alternate source through which you can just go out. So that is called as the emergency exit or emergency exit route. Okay, so that emergency exit route should always be available. Okay, and for that purpose adequate lighting is essential. If it is in complete dark, then it is not possible for you to just go out of this one. So adequate lighting is one of the most important thing for the emergency exit. And if you are going to see the hydroelectric power plants, normally the hydroelectric power plants are in the hilly areas, and for that purpose you need to just make a tunnels in the hilly areas, and that through that, so definitely there is low light conditions, and in that case if it is already a low light conditions and there is not adequate lighting, artificial lighting is not there, then it is quite difficult for you to exit through that one. So during flood, there should be provision of automatically stop of the hydro power plant. So basically what happens, hydroelectric power plants will completely run on the water. And during monsoon, it might be possible that there is a flood. And in such case, if I am going to operate my hydroelectric power plant, that will causes the excessive pressure on my plant, and that may causes the damage to the turbines blade also. So in that case, I need to just automatically cut the power plant. And sometimes what happen, whatever the tail race, okay, so already in the flood condition, if you are going to just operate your hydroelectric power plant, okay, and through the tail race you are going to release the water, but the water is not going to be just absorbed in that, because it is already full. So in that case, if the water causes the cavitization effect and all these things may causes the damage to my system also. Okay, and plant should be inspected by the OSHA and NEPA organization. These are the safety organizations which are going to deal with the plant. This is one thing. Another safety practices as far as the equipments are concerned for the hydroelectric power plant is the 4B. Okay, what is the 4B? 4B serves the following function. It stores the rejected water immediately when the load on the turbine reduces, so it avoid water hammer effect in penstock and protect the penstock. So what is the purpose of 4B? So for the small hydroelectric power plant, we are going to construct the 4B. And what is the function it is performed? During the changes in the load, fluctuation in the load, it will store the water and it will supply the water. Okay, to avoid the hammering effect and the cavitation effect. It avoids the cavity effect in the penstock when the load on the turbine increases, because it immediately supplies the water. So 4-bay will perform two functions. Okay, it will supply water when the load on the system will increases, and it will store water when the load on the system will decreases. Okay, so it acts as a buffer storage of water during flooding, which increases the safety of the dam. Okay, so in case of flooding, we are going to store the water into the 4-bay, so that my dam safety for the dam will increases. Dam has certain capacity. Okay, if you are going to store the water beyond its capacity, that may causes damage to the dam wall. Okay, so instead of that, instead of storing the water, excessive water in the dam, I'm going to use in the buffer storage, that is my 4-bay over there. Then second is the important part that can be used for the safety is the stress rack, that is called as the screen or booms. It avoid entry of debris, that is the solid particles, large phase size going towards the turbine. Okay, so for that, just like in your home you are using the filter. Okay, for just आपण घरी आहे ना पाण्याकरता फिल्टर यूज करतो, आणि जर दुसरं काहीच फिल्टर नसेल तर आपण नॉर्मली काय यूज करतो, वी आर टेकिंग अ कॉटन क्लॉथ and through which we are going to filter the water. So why we are going to use the that filter? To just block the entry of the solid particle. What are the suspended particles which are available in the water, that I am going to block? If I am not just filter the water, that water I will directly drink, and that may causes certain diseases or something. So what you are going to do? For that purpose, I am going to filter the water. In the same manner, if I am not going to filter the water, and in that case then there are solid particles, there may be stones are there are certain large particles, wooden particles, fish are there, aquatic animals are there, they will directly go to the turbine, and that may causes damage to my turbine blades. Okay, so to avoid that, I am going to use the screens. Okay, that is called as the filters, that is the metal screen. Okay, through which only water will pass, and certain solid particles are going to be restricted over there. It avoids choke up of penstock and damage to the turbine. The second function performed by it is what? It will avoid the choke up. Okay, choke up जर झालं तर तुमच्या पेनस्टॉक मधनं पाणी येणारच नाही बाहेर, आणि सिस्टम will stop over there. Okay, so these two functions are performed by the trash ray. Then spillways are there. So discharge the excess water from reservoir when the water exceeds the storage capacity of the reservoir. Okay, spillway काय करणार आहे? In case of spillway, if the dam is completely filled, so at that time whatever the excess water is there, that is going to be released, that is going to be discharged through the spillways. It avoids damage to the dam due to the excessive pressure of water. Okay, it acts as a safety wall to the dam. Okay, so the main function of spillway is what? It discharges the excess water, and when it will discharge the excess water, the pressure of the water which is exerted on the dam of the wall will be in the limit. Okay, so that it acts as the safety valve for the dam. Just like in your pressure cooker, in your home, in your kitchen, we are going to use the pressure cooker. Pressure cooker मध्ये whistle आहे आणि एक safety valve असतो. Okay, so if your whistle will not operate, if you are going to block the whistle, or what is the function of whistle in the pressure valve, pressure cooker, it will releases the pressure. So how you are going to operate the pressure cooker? In the pressure cooker you are going to put certain water, close the say lid, and you are going to put on the heat source. That may be your induction cooker, that may be your gas stove. Okay, and over the period of time the vapors are built up, a steam is generated inside the pressure cooker. But if you are not going to release the steam, at that time what happens, the pressure cooker will get blast. So to release that excess steam, the pressure vessel, the vessel is there, that is going to be lifted and it will release the steam. Sometimes what happens, the pressure is not going to be released through the steam. At that time, the wall will get damaged. Okay, and wall will get damaged, and through the wall, the pressure is going to be released. Okay, and that will protect my pressure cooker. So in the same manner, spillways are used. What is the function of spillway? It will discharge the excess water when the reservoir is completely filled, so as to avoid the damage to the dam due to excess pressure of water, and it acts as a safety wall of the dam. The next one is the protection provided to the penstock. Okay, so for the penstock, what type of protections we are going to provide? Penstock is the metallic or the concrete structure through which I will carry the water from the foreway or the dam to the turbine. Okay, so basically, as it is the source through, or it is the structure through which I will carry the water, so definitely if the water is not going to be just limited, then that may causes the damage to the penstock. So for that purpose, I am going to use either surge tank or foreway. Here, surge tank and foreway will perform two functions. They will supply water when load will increases, and they will store the water when load will be decreases. So to avoid the cavitation effect and the hammering effect. Then next one is the automatic butterfly valve. So in for the protection purpose, you are going to use the automatic butterfly valve. That valve is going to be open and closed with the help of the governor. Okay, with the changing in the loads, when your load will change, automatically the governor will open and close the automatic butterfly valve. And the air valve, the air valve will release the air to the penstock. Then surge tank, the surge tank protects the penstock from water hammer effect when the load on the turbine reduces. Okay, so when the load on the turbine will reduces, what happens? This I need to decrease the speed of the turbine. Okay, because it is to immediately store the rejected water. So when my load on the turbine will decreases, the turbine speed also decreases. Now for that purpose, but the water is coming. So if my water is coming, that will causes the hammering effect. Okay, so in that case, I need to store the excessive water which is coming from the penstock, and that water is going to be stored in the surge tank. The second function, it avoids the cavity effect in penstock when the load on the turbine increases. दुसऱ्या केसमध्ये काय करता सर्ज टँक, जेव्हा लोड माझ्या सिस्टीमवरचं वाढलंय त्यावेळेस मला काय जास्त पाणी सप्लाय करावं लागेल. सो आय नीड टू इन्क्रीज द रोटेशन. ओके, सो वेन आय विल इन्क्रीज द रोटेशन, as per your Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, E is equal to n d phi by dt. I need to increase the speed, okay, or the rate of change of flux. So for increasing the rate of change of flux, I need to increase the speed of the turbine, and for increasing the speed of the turbine, I need more force, and that more force is going to be provided with the help of supplying the large amount of water, immediate supply of the water. So for that purpose, if I am going to supply the immediately water, and water is not going to supply, that will create the cavity. Okay, so that called problem is called as the cavitization. So my surge tank will take care of both hammering effect as well as the cavity effect. So for that purpose, surge tank is the most protective. Then we have discussed the factors. What are the factors we need to consider before selecting the site for the hydroelectric power plant? So the first factor that we need to consider is the availability of the water. The hydroelectric power station need huge quantity of water. Hence, such plant should be located or built at a place where river is there, canals are there, dams are there. Means adequate water is available at good height. Okay, so this is the most important thing. Second, storage of water. There are wide variation in the water supply from river or canal during the year. ओके. आपल्याकडच्या ज्या नद्या असतील किंवा कॅनॉल्स असतील याच्यामधनं कंटिन्युअसली वर्षभर पाणी फ्लो होत नाही. त्यामुळे आपल्याला काय करावं लागतं, स्टोअर करावं लागतं. इट इज नेसेसरी टू स्टोअर द वॉटर बाय कन्स्ट्रक्टिंग अ डॅम in order to ensure the generation of power throughout the year. Okay, so if I want to generate the power throughout the years, I need to construct the dam to store the waters which is available during monsoon season. This leads to the conclusion that sites selected for hydroelectric power plant should provide adequate facility for erecting a dam and storage of water. Okay, so next one is the cost and type of land. The land for the construction of plant should be available at reasonable price. As we already discussed, the land requirement for the construction of your dam and the hydroelectric power plant. Okay, so for setting up the hydroelectric power plant, it requires less space, but for working conditions, means for storing the water, it requires millions or thousands of acres of land. So when I'm going to use that thousands of acres of land, definitely if it is too costly, then it is not possible for me to purchase it. Okay, so the cost should be available. Sorry, the land should be available at the reasonable cost. Further, the bearing capacity of the ground should be adequate to withstand the weight of the heavy equipments to be installed. Okay, whatever the land you are going to choose, that land should be a rocky one. Okay, so that it has the capacity to just withstand the weight of the heavy equipments, because the weight of that equipments in the thousands of tons. Okay, so those heavy equipment should be placed at the thermal hydroelectric power plant, so my land should able to bear the load of these equipments. Then transportation facility, the site selected for the hydroelectric plant should be accessible by road and railways, so that the necessary equipment and machinery could be easily transported. Okay, so transportation is very important, because for when I need to construct the hydroelectric power plant, I requires transformer over there, generator over there, alternator over there, n number of other electrical supply mechanical equipments. Okay, so for that purpose I need to carry this equipment to the locations or my site, and for that purpose the transportation is very important. Okay, so these are some things that we need to consider over here, factors. Okay, so this is how you have just finished the hydroelectric power plant unit number 2. Yesterday I have posted certain assignments. Please go through those assignments. Please try to solve those assignments. Okay, after few minutes we will start with the chapter number 3.